Andor season 2, it's wrapped for a little while. I finally got through the dang thing, so I wanted to give it at least a little bit of due. There is so much meat on this bone. Like, there is a ton of directions that we could go or could discuss. I'm going to intentionally keep it relatively brief and just say a couple of things. First of all, it's extraordinarily well made. So I know there was, prior to season 2 being dropped, a lot of kerfuffle around the overall budget of this show, to which I would say, who cares? Like, Star Wars has been printing its own money for a couple of generations now. So I don't think it matters really how much it costs Star Wars to make a Star Wars entity. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I will say, and the reason I bring that up, is it looks exquisite. Like, there is no fluff in this show. And so whatever millions of dollars they ended up spending, all I can say is they spent it very well from an aesthetic point of view. The other just genuine strength of this show is that you don't have to have watched any other Star Wars to watch this show and appreciate what you're seeing. And I feel like that, especially in the Star Wars realm, is extraordinarily unique. Like, Star Wars almost always insists that, hey, you have seen several other movies and or TV shows before you watch this next Star Wars production in order to understand what's going on. I'm not saying that being familiar with Star Wars canon doesn't add to the joy of what you're seeing here. Of course it does. You're going to pick up on more Easter eggs, on more of the world building. But this show, never in season 1 nor in season 2, is it assuming that you as the audience member have seen anything to do with Star Wars prior to coming into this show. And that's really freaking unique. Thirdly, the character development is as good in this show as any other show that I have ever seen. I'm not saying it's better than, I'm just saying it's on the same level. There are so many characters that we get introduced to in season 1 that carry over and continue their stories in season 2. Some major, some minor, everything in between. And man, if anybody out there is going, oh, I feel like this character got slighted, I don't know who on earth that could be, because it's really remarkable how so many characters, because it is a good like 8 characters at least that you're trying to keep tabs on and keep track of. And that's the smaller end of that number. It's 8 to 12, perhaps even beyond. Each one of those characters, I think, gets its due screen time. And most importantly, not just time, but transformation and development from when they were first introduced to where we ultimately conclude the show. So I won't get into the nitty gritty of what the story is about. I don't want to ruin it for someone that hasn't seen it yet. Listen, this is a very slow burn. This is a crock pot show. Okay. So if you're going to get into it, and I felt this way about both season 1 and season 2, I was a good several episodes into season 2 going, okay, when are we going to introduce a little gas to the grill here? Because boy, the coals are burning low. Really, it's about the midway point of each season where all of a sudden, boom, the flames go up and it takes off in terms of its pacing. So if you're willing to be patient with it, I think the reward is worth it. And I'll say this too. If you're going, I am not willing to be patient, it's okay. That's all right. I don't think, and I mean this in a non-condescending way, this show is not for everybody. Okay. And I don't mean that as, oh, if you're not watching it, you're some kind of a dumbass. It's a great show. It's not for everybody. And I mean that very sincerely, because there's too many people that are going, oh, well, this is a Star Wars show for adults, and trying to like draw some kind of ridiculous line of demarcation that if all you watch is other Star Wars content like The Mandalorian and not this, you're some kind of a child. Like, excuse me, you're watching a fictional television show set in outer space in planets that don't exist. Come at me with that crap of adults. This is fiction. It's science fiction. So spare me enjoy it if you enjoy it. And if it's not for you, guess what? There's a lot of other Star Wars content out there that probably is. So I'm all over the place a little bit. I recommend it. I think it's outstanding. I enjoyed the heck out of it. Watch it for the characters. Get drawn in by, well, there's some Star Wars stuff in here too, but from a character development perspective, friggin' outstanding. And good grief, Stellan Skarsgård is incredible. He's incredible. He's been in so much in my lifetime, and he's always good. This might be just my favorite role that I've ever seen him
really
play. It's incredible. He plays a rebel spy is probably the simplest way to phrase it. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. But the number of different hats and faces that he has to wear is pretty outstanding, and his character progression is at the top for me out of this whole show. So
sweet.
Kudos to Andor. It's a blast. Well worth it if you're willing to take the time. There you go. Andor season